Okay, so today we are going to discuss about orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, that is OFDM. So this OFDM is a special case of this frequency division multiplexing. Here OFDM is frequency division multiplexing, and here this is nothing but a special case of frequency division multiplex axis. And this OFDM is a communication technique that divide a communication channel into a number of equally spaced frequency band. So here in OFDM also we are doing frequency division multiplexing. It is FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing, but in an orthogonal way. That is OFDM is a communication technique that divide a communication channel into a number of equally spaced frequency bandwidth. So the communication channel here is divided into an equally spaced frequency band. Equally spaced frequency band. So a subcarrier carrying a portion of user information is transmitted in each band. So the channel is divided into a number of frequency band, and in this frequency band, the subcarrier which carries a portion of user information is transmitted. So in OFDM, a channel is divided into a number of equally spaced frequency band, and in this each frequency band, we are transmitting a carrier, a subcarrier. In each frequency band, we are transmitting a subcarrier which carries a portion of user information. So here each subcarrier is orthogonal, it is independent of each other with the other subcarrier. So each subcarrier is orthogonal with every other subcarrier. So, and this is a multiplexing technology which is used in various places such as Wi-Fi 802.11, AC, 4G, 5G, cellular phone technologies, WiMAX, satellite, and many others. So these are the applications of this OFDM. This is a multiplexing technique which is used in various places such as Wi-Fi 802.11 AC, that's an IEEE standard, and 4G and 5G cellular phones, this OFDM technology is used, and this WiMAX satellite it is used, and this and many other applications of this OFDM. So the first figure here shows the FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing. So here in FDM we can see that in between these two carriers we have a guard band. In between these two carrier we have a guard band. So thus interference is not happening between this. We have to reduce the interference between these two carriers. So in between these carriers we have guard bands. This FDM allow multiple users to share one link. Multiple users to share one link. So here in FDM we can see that here this is the frequency and y-axis we have FDM. So in between these two carrier we have a guard band. But in OFDM we can see that there is no guard band in between the frequencies, in between the subcarriers. Here this is one subcarrier, this is another subcarrier, and this is third subcarrier and fourth subcarrier and so on. So in between this subcarrier there is no guard band. Hence we can save bandwidth. This much bandwidth is saved by using this OFDM technology. But you may think that this will have cause interference. But no, this will not cause interference. OFDM, this will not cause interference, and we can save bandwidth also, which is a major drawback of this FDM system. FDM main drawback is bandwidth usage. We guard bands insert between the subcarriers. So, guard bands insert that's a wastage. Actually, interference guard bands insert that's a wastage. OFDM we can save that much bandwidth. So, in OFDM, subchannels are closely spaced, or subcarriers are closely spaced, and OFDM allow more data transmission than FDM. So subcarriers are closely spaced compared to this FDM. Screen visible alle? Okay, compared to this FDM, OFDM can send more data or more information than FDM. So multiple subchannel overlap each other, or multiple subcarrier. Here we can see many subcarriers. This multiple subcarrier overlap each other, and orthogonal means two or more objects act independently. This subcarrier is orthogonal to this subcarrier, and these two subcarriers are different or independent of each other and said to be orthogonal. So here we can see how this overlapping is done. or how the subcarriers are placed. This red color shows one subcarrier, which is basically denoted like a sync function. Here we can see this is one subcarrier, which is basically denoted as a sync function. So, and this blue color is the next subcarrier, and the green color is the next subcarrier. Green color is the next subcarrier. Hence, we can see that ഇതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചാൽ മനസ്സിലാവും. ഇതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂവിൽ വേറെ ഒരു സബ്കാരിയറിൻ്റെയും പീക്ക് വരുന്നില്ല. ഈ റെഡ് കളറിൻ്റെ സബ്കാരിയർ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ പിക് മോസ്റ്റ് വാല്യൂ ആണ്. ഈ പിക് മോസ്റ്റ് വാല്യൂവിൽ ഒരു നൾ വാല്യൂ വരുന്നത്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇത് ബ്ലൂ കളർ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂവിൽ വേറൊരു നൾ പോയിന്റാണ് വരുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഹിയർ ദിസ് ഓൾസോ എ നൾ പോയിന്റാണ് വരുന്നത്. അതായത് അതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂവിൽ ദർ വോണ്ട് ബി any other peak value, or it will have null value. That is, when the signal reaches its peak value, the highest point at that time over the signal are at 0 point or null point. That means ഈ ഒരു green അല്ലെങ്കിൽ red അല്ലെങ്കിൽ blue any of this ഈ ഏത് സബ്കാരിയർ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്താലും അതിന്റെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂവിൽ there won't be any other peak, or there will be the next value അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള വാല്യൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it will be a 0 point or a null point. That is, when the signal reaches its peak value, the highest point at this time over the signal are at 0 point. That is, are at 0 point, or this point can be also called as null point. Are at 0 point or null point. So, it is a form of multi-carrier modulation technique. Here, it is a form of multi-carrier modulation technique in the sense that we are using multiple subcarriers, or we are using many subcarriers. So it is a form of multi-carrier modulation technique, and it divides high data rate stream into a number of low data rate stream and transmits simultaneously over a number of subcarriers. So നമുക്ക് high data നമ്മളൊരു data rate stream നെ lower data rate stream ലേക്ക് divide ചെയ്യും, and each lower data rate transmission is transmitted over a number of subcarriers. Number of subcarriers ന്റെ മുകളിലാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ high data rate stream നെ lower data rate stream ഒക്കെ convert ചെയ്യും, and this lower data rate stream is then transmitted over a number of subcarriers. So this is one subcarrier, this red color. ഈ red color മുകളിൽ some information we are transmitting, and this blue color മുകളിൽ we are transmitting some part of information, and green color മുകളിൽ some part of information. So the carriers are made orthogonal to each other. These three subcarriers, which is denoted in red, green, blue, these are orthogonal to each other. They act independently to each other. So there won't be any interference. Even though we are placing without guard bands, but this does not produce any interference. And going on to the benefit of this OFDM is its strength. Is its strength in fighting the adverse effect of multipath propagation. So it has a strength in fighting the adverse effect of multipath propagation. And it offers possibility of overcoming many of the problem encoded in single carrier system. Single carrier system in that many disadvantages, many problems can be overcome by using this multiple subcarrier technique, that is OFDM. So this is the basic block diagram for this OFDM. This first figure shows the transmitter side. So in the transmitter side, we have a binary data in, which is given to a modulation or modulator, which modulate by QPSK, QAM, etc., and which is given to an IFFT, that is inverse fast Fourier transform, and this is next given to a digital to analog converter, and output of the digital to analog converter we have a baseband OFDM. And next is the receiver side. In the receiver side, we have the baseband OFDM signal as input, which is now back converted to digital, that is by passing through analog to digital converter, and then this opposite block of this IFFT, that is FFT, and then demodulation by QPSK, QM, etc., and output of this demodulator we get the binary data out. So going on to the advantages, main advantages of this OFDM technique are it is immune to selective fading. And reduction into interference, it reduces the interference. It has a better spectral efficiency also. Since it saves lots of bandwidth, it has a better spectral efficiency. And the next one is reduction to ISI. reduction to the problem of ISI, that is inter-symbol indifference, and symbol channel equalization technique is used in this OFDM, and different modulation scheme can be used like QPSK, QAM, etc. Many modulation scheme can be also used in this OFDM. And the disadvantages of this OFDM is that high peak to average power ratio and sensitive to carrier offset and drift, and accurate time and frequency synchronization is needed for this OFDM. So now we will discuss in detail about the block diagrams, what is happening actually in this block diagram, that's the transmitter side. So basically we have that in the transmitter side x0, x1, x2, etc. Up to xn minus 1. This is our symbol. So this symbol is given to a serial to parallel demultiplexer. The serial to parallel demultiplexer, this is used because to load the symbol onto the subcarrier. So here each x0, x1, x2, etc. up to xn minus 1 is loaded onto one subcarrier. So let's say x0 is loaded to one subcarrier, x1 is loaded to another subcarrier, and xn minus 1 is loaded to another subcarrier. So each symbol is transmitted over one subcarrier. So we have a serial to parallel demultiplexer. All symbol x0, x1 up to xn minus 1, we are transmitting over each one. X0 is transmitted over one subcarrier, x1 is transmitted over another subcarrier, and xn minus 1 is transmitted over another subcarrier. And each subcarrier are orthogonal also. We will transmit all subcarrier orthogonal to each other. So there won't be problem of interference also. So we have serial to parallel demultiplexer to load the symbols onto the subcarrier, and this output of this demux is given to inverse fast Fourier transform, which has a size of endpoint. This is used to this is preferred due to the properties of cyclic prefix. We'll study about what is the need of cyclic prefix in OFDM. But now here this output of this DMX is given to inverse fast Fourier transpose, that has a size of endpoint. And this output of this inverse fast Fourier transform is given to a parallel to serial mux. That is output of this IFFT. It is x0, x1, etc. up to xn minus 1, and this is given to a parallel to serial multiplexer mux. And the output of this parallel to serial multiplexer is a serial output which have x0, x1 up to etc. xn minus 1. And to this serial output, we are adding a cyclic prefix. We will discuss about why there is a need to add the cyclic prefix. But for the point of now, we can say that parallel to serial output, output of the mux is x0, x1, etc. up to xn minus 1, to which we add a cyclic prefix. And by adding cyclic prefix, we transmit over the channel. So basically, binary data, what we do is first we have the binary data x0, x1, etc. up to xn minus 1, or we have the data in x0, etc. x0, x1 up to etc. xn minus 1. Now we will convert this serial data into. Now we will convert this parallel data, serial data into parallel by passing through the DMUX, and afterwards we will apply IFFT. Then back to from parallel to serial by passing through MUX, and output of the MUX we are adding a cyclic prefix, and then we are transmitting over the channel. That is, in between we are doing modulation, IFFT, digital to analog converter, and at last we are adding cyclic prefix. And we are transmitting over the channel. And the receiver side, we have received the signal. And next step is removal of the cyclic prefix. By removing the cyclic prefix, we have y0, y1, etc. up to yn minus 1. And next is the opposite procedure of this parallel to serial mux, that is serial to parallel DMUX we have. Then IFFT. Then we have a detection module. Then parallel to serial mux. And we have at the output of the detection module, we have x0 cap, x1 cap, etc. up to xn minus 1 cap. This is the detection module output, and which is given to a parallel to serial mux. And output of this parallel to serial mux is a serial output, that is x0, x1 cap, etc. up to xn minus 1 cap. But here we have to, this is an important point, that x0 cap is never equal to x0. x0 cap is not equal to x0. We have transmitted x0 and we have received x0 cap, and this x0 cap is not equal to x0. So this is because of the bit error occurs. Bit error occurs. So because of this bit error, this x0 cap, which is not equal to x0. So there is a separate procedure for removing this bit error. In OFDM, there is a separate procedure or separate mechanism for removing this bit error. So basically in OFDM, the output of the parallel to serial mux is x0 cap, x1 cap, etc. up to xn minus 1 cap. So this x0 cap or x1 cap or etc. up to xn minus 1 cap is not equal to this x0, x1, etc. up to xn minus 1. This is because of the occurrence of bit error. Now we have already told there is no need of guard bands in OFDM. But how guard bands are used in OFDM? Let us consider two windows, that is window 1, which consisted of x0, x1, etc. up to x3, and window 2, which have another x0, x1, x2, x3. If this if window 1 spread due to this multipath component, that is MPC, that is x0, x1, x2, x3 is contained in window 1, and another x0, x1, x2, x3 is contained in window 2. And because of this multipath component, this window 1 started spreading. If window 1 spreads, then x0 of the second window is lost. Here we can see, if this window 1 spreads to the window 2, then this x0 in the second window is lost, because this window 1 spreads to the symbol x0. That is window 1 window 2 like spread because of this multipath component. If window 1 started spreading to window 2, first component, that window 2 first symbol x0 lost type. So to overcome this drawback, what we use? We use cyclic prefix. This spreading symbol lost type. So I lost a symbol. I symbol loss we use cyclic prefix. So cyclic prefix, what we do is, window 2 considering window 2 the last symbol, that is x3. x3 is added as a prefix to the window 1. So x3 in the starting add, that is x3, or window 2 x4 component variant, that is x0, x1, x2, x3 up to x4. Then x4 is added as a cyclic prefix. So here what we do is x0, x1, x2, x3. So this x3 is added as a prefix, cyclic prefix to the window 2. So by doing so, we have window cyclic prefix added. That is x3. This x3 is added as a cyclic prefix to window 1, and this x3 is added as a cyclic prefix to window 2. Now if window 1 spread, we lost only x3 of window 2, which is a prefix. And we still have a copy of x3 in window 2. If window 1 spread, window 2 in the x3 lost type. We have an extra copy of x3 here. Prefix is lost type. Original x3 we have here. We still have a copy of x3 in window 2. Only the prefix is lost. So in this way, we are adding cyclic prefix, and this is the need of adding cyclic prefix. So basically, this orthogonal frequency division multiplexing is OFDM. So this is a special case of this FDMA, and the two conditions, that the OFDM is a special case of FDMA, and OFDM is a communication technique that divides a communication channel into a number of equally spaced frequency band. So basically in OFDM, the communication channel divide a communication technique that divides the communication channel into number of equally spaced frequency band ആയിട്ട് divide ചെയ്യും, and a subcarrier carrying a portion of the user information is transmitted in each channel. So ഓരോ ചാനലിനകത്തും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓരോ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ബാൻഡിൻ്റെ അകത്തും ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ച ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ബാൻഡിൻ്റെ അകത്തും നമ്മൾ സബ് കാരിയർ ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യും, which carries a portion of user information like x0. X0 is transmitted over a subcarrier, x1 is transmitted over a subcarrier, etc. up to xn minus 1 is transmitted over another subcarrier, and each subcarrier is orthogonal, that is independent of each other. So the two subcarrier must be orthogonal and non-overlapping ആയിരിക്കണം. അതായത് സബ്കാരിയറിന്റെ പീക്സ് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ they are non-overlapping. Although they are overlapping, but the peak value is non-overlapping. So the two important conditions that must be maintained for this subcarrier are subcarrier must be orthogonal and the subcarrier must be non-overlapping. If these two conditions are satisfied, that is, we use in subcarriers orthogonal and we use in subcarriers in the peaks non-overlapping, then only we can say that ISI is reduced. ISI reduced. So this OFDM it's a special case of frequency division multiplexes. OFDM is a special case of frequency division multiplexes. A single user a single frequency at a time use. No, our frequency where a user at that time allocate cheyilla. A single user a single frequency. This is a special case of this frequency. Even though it's a frequency division multiplexing axis, this OFDM is a special case of this FDMA ആണ്. അവിടെ നമ്മൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ ചാനൽ ഈക്വൽ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ബാൻഡ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഈക്വൽ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ബാൻഡ് ആയിട്ട് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഈ ഓരോ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ബാൻഡിലും ഓരോ ചാനലിലും നമ്മളൊരു സബ് കാരിയർ ഉണ്ട്. ഈ സബ് കാരിയറിന്റെ മുകളിലാണ് എ പോർഷൻ ഓഫ് യൂസർ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ഇസ് ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റഡ്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് നേച്ചർ ഓഫ് ദി സബ് കാരിയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ഓർത്തോഗണൽ ടു ഈച്ച് അതർ, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ഓഫ് ഈച്ച് അതർ. That is, one subcarrier may be different, it will be different from the other subcarrier and in action. So in each subcarrier is orthogonal and they must be overlapping also. And this multiplexing technology is used in various places such as Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G cellular phone, WiMAX satellite and many other. So here we have an FDM graph for this FDM. In between the subcarrier we have a guard band so that interference is reduced in FDM, but still there will be interference due to the multipath component. Due to the multipath component there will be spreading. Multipath component there will be spreading. So നമ്മൾ ഈ FDM OFDM നമ്മൾ ഗാർഡ് ബാൻഡ് ഇല്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഗാർഡ് ബാൻഡ് എങ്ങനെ ഒഴിവാക്കുന്നത് വെച്ചാൽ ബൈ യൂസിങ് സൈക്ലിക് പ്രിഫിക്സ്. ഈ സൈക്ലിക് പ്രിഫിക്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതനുസരിച്ച് തന്നെ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻസ് നമുക്ക് ലോസ്റ്റ് ആവുന്നില്ല. കാരണം ഓൾറെഡി ഒരു കോപ്പി ഓഫ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ വിൽ ബി which will be going to get lost. So this is OFDM. OFDM in that by placing the subcarrier close to each other we can save the bandwidth. Saving of bandwidth is there. So this advantages of using the subcarrier എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ bandwidth efficient ആണ്. Advantages of using the subcarrier എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it is bandwidth efficient ആണ്. Since there is no guard bands, നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ guard band യൂസ് ചെയ്തതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ സബ്കാരിയർസ് എല്ലാം ക്ലോസ്ലി സ്പേസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇത്രത്തോളം ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് നമുക്ക് സേവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് എ ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് എഫിഷ്യന്റ് ആണ്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് എനാബിൾ പാരലൽ ട്രാൻസ്മിഷൻ ഓൾസോ ബൈ യൂസിങ് ദ സബ്കാരിയർ. ഇറ്റ് എനാബിൾസ് പാരലൽ ട്രാൻസ്മിഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഹിയർ ആസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് എഫിഷ്യന്റ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഹിയർ മോർ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് സബ്കാരിയർ ക്യാൻ ബി അലോക്കേറ്റഡ്. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഇൻക്രീസസ് ദ ഡാറ്റ റേറ്റ്. As more number of subcarrier can be allocated in this frequency range, it have high data rate also. So advantages of subcarrier parayanengil, it is a bandwidth efficient, that is since there is no guard band used, and it enable parallel transmission and it increases the data rate also. So this OFDM support high data rate. And this OFDM, OFDM subchannels are closely spaced, and this OFDM allow more data transmission than FDM. Since idalke closely spaced ayonde thanne more subcarrier can be allocated, so high data rate also is possible in OFDM compared to frequency division multiplexing. And the multiple subchannel overlap each other. So this subchannel overlap each other, but adinte peaks okay non overlapping aanu. So So, and the orthogonal means two or more objects act independently. So here, the red denote the first subcarrier, the blue denote the second subcarrier, and the green denote the third subcarrier. So as we can see in this figure, that is when signal reaches its peak. So when the red signal reaches its peak, the highest point at that time of the other signal are at 0. Where ella signal highest point it is at 0 point. That is, red signal consider അത് അതിന്റെ മാക്സിമം എത്തുന്ന സമയത്ത്, അത് അതിന്റെ പീക്ക് വാല്യൂ എത്തുന്ന സമയത്ത് അതിന്റെ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പോയിന്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നൾ പോയിന്റ് ആണ്. ആ ഒരു കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് പോയിന്റിൽ വേറെ ഒരു സിഗ്നലിന് പീക്ക് വാല്യൂ ഇല്ല. When signal reaches its peak, the highest point at this time, other signal are at 0 point or null point. And it is a form of multi-carrier modulation technique. So this OFDM is a form of multi-carrier modulation technique. It divides the high data rate stream into a number of low data rate stream, and this lower data rate stream are transmitted simultaneous. So either simultaneous because of the subcarrier advantage on subcarrier advantage parallel transmission possible. So this lower data rate stream, which is divided from the higher data rate stream, are now transmitted simultaneously over a number of subcarrier. Simultaneous transmission is possible by this is because of this advantages of the subcarrier, and these carriers are made orthogonal to each other. So ee oro subcarriers orthogonal aanu and non overlapping aanu. And benefit of this OFDM is its strength in fighting the adverse effect of multipath propagation. So multipath propagation karana avade oru multipath component undavum, and due to this multipath component there will be spreading. Oru spreading undavum. Window 1 window 2 നമ്മൾ spreading കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. So that is because of this multipath component. So our multipath component, because in OFDM നമ്മൾ cyclic prefix യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ആ multipath component effect നമുക്ക് അതിന്റെ adverse effectനെതിരെ നമുക്ക് ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും by using this OFDM. So this benefit of this OFDM is its strength in fighting the adverse effect of this multipath propagation, and it offers possibility for overcoming many more problems encountered with this single carrier system. And here this is a binary diagram. This is the general block diagram for OFDM. So here we have a binary data which is given to a modulation, which have many type of modulation like QPSK, QAM, etc., and which is given to IFFT, and then digital to analog converter. And output of the D2A we have an OFDM signal, and next we have a baseband OFDM signal which is given to analog to digital converter, and output of this analog to digital converter is given to a FFT, and the output of this FFT is given to a demodulator, and output of the demodulator we have binary data output. So advantages of this immune to selective fading, reduction to interference, spectral efficiency, reduction to ISI, simple channel equalization is required. Since ISI it's a reduced value, so simple channel equalization is needed in the case of OFDM. And here different modulation scheme also can be used. And these are the disadvantages. It is high peak to average power ratio, and it is very sensitive to carrier offset and drift, and there is a need of accurate time and frequency synchronization in OFDM. So the transmitter side operations of we can say that x0, x1, x2, etc. up to xn minus 1. Oro symbols oro subcarrier load. So we have a serial to parallel DMX. This loads the symbol onto the subcarrier, and the output of the serial to parallel DMX is a parallel output, which is given to an inverse fast Fourier transform, which have an endpoint size. And this inverse fast Fourier transform is preferred due to the properties of cyclic prefix. See, cyclic prefix many important properties are. So our properties are we use this inverse fast Fourier transform. The inverse fast Fourier transform in the output x0, x1, x2, etc. up to xn minus 1. That's a parallel output. So the parallel output is now converted into serial output by passing through a mux. And output of this mux, we are adding a cyclic prefix. Xn minus 1 and consider x0, x1, etc. up to xn minus 1. This xn minus 1 is added as a prefix. Or cyclic way prefix added. And then it is added transmitted over the channel. Now in the receiver side, we have the received signal. First step cyclic prefix added. Cyclic prefix in the removal first step. And removal of the cyclic prefix, we will get a serial output, that is y0, y1, etc. up to yn minus 1, which we have to convert into parallel. So we are passing through the serial to parallel demons. That is y0, y1, etc. up to yn minus 1. And which is next passed through a fast Fourier transform, which of size n point. And output of the fast Fourier transform is again a y0, capital Y0, y1, etc. up to yn minus 1, which is given to a detection module. And the output of the detection module is x0 cap, x1 cap, etc. up to xn minus 1 cap, which is a parallel output. So we have to convert the parallel output into serial output. So we have a parallel to serial mux, and the output of this parallel to serial mux is x0 cap, x1 cap, etc. up to xn minus cap. So but basically I'm understanding the point x0 cap it will be never equal to this x0. This is because of the bit error. This bit error separate bit error reduce bit error rate. There are many techniques, separate technique in OFDM, which is not our concern in this topic. Now, how guard bands are used in OFDM? Guard bands are guard bands ISA interference problem. So interference problem by adding cyclic prefix. So cyclic prefix add in samethu, usually cyclic prefix add in window 1 spread into multipath component and spread x0 symbol lost. So we have to say this x0. So basically x3 cyclically prefix cyclic as a prefix add. This we are doing in a cyclic manner. So it is known as cyclic prefix. So the x3 or prefix add. So by doing so, window 1, window 2 like spread this x3 will be lost. Even though x3 lost, we have another copy of x3 in window 2. So this is about OFDM.